Alright, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kale back with another stream and video. We're gonna redo that. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kale and
And
stream back
stream
with another
back with
video.
another
And
video.
today
And today
we are gonna
we
have
are gonna have
story time. I'm already on
I'm
chapter
already
three.
on chapter 3.
Sorry, y'all.
But
But y'all gonna have to start on chapter three.
chapter 3.
Chapter
Wanna
three.
hear
Chapter one.
chapter
Go
1.
look at it.
Look at it.
But the book is
The book
called
is called
The
The
Trails of
Trails of
Apollo.
Apollo.
Not book three. I'm on book. I'm on book one. And guys, it's book one.
Book 1.
You don't have the book.
You don't have the book.
I'm gonna play it on
I'm gonna
here.
play it on here.
We're gonna listen
We're
to
gonna
four
listen
and
to
three and four.
3 and 4.
The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. Chapter 3. Used to be gaudy, now uptown feeling shoddy. Bah, haiku don't rhyme. As we trudged up Madison Avenue, my mind swirled with questions. Why hadn't Zeus given me a winter coat? Why did Percy Jackson live so far uptown? Why did pedestrians keep staring at me?
Hold on. I'm gonna call one of my friends too. I'm gonna call Kamai for last time, y'all. Julian, she ain't back, so you can't create a game. After this, I'm probably gonna play games, make some videos. Or have my editor Julian, if he's if he even willing to. And you got to force him to do it if you want to. God, dang. Huh? Huh? Oh, I sneeze.
I wondered if my divine radiance was starting to return.
Yeah. She better go take a shower. Right? Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's start the story.
Perhaps the New Yorkers were awed by my obvious power and unearthly good looks. Meg McCaffrey set me straight. You smell, she said. You look like you've just been mugged. I have just been mugged. Also enslaved by a small child. It's not slavery. She chewed off a piece of her thumb cuticle and spit it out. It's more like mutual cooperation. Mutual in the sense that you give the orders and I'm forced to cooperate? Yep. She stopped in front of a storefront window. See, you look gross. My reflection stared back at me. Except it was not my reflection. It couldn't be. The face was the same as on Lester Papadopoulos' ID. I looked about 16. My medium-length hair was dark and curly. A style I'd rocked in Athenian times and again in the 1970s. My eyes were blue. My face was pleasing enough in a dorkish
I'm not.
You are.
I can't hear you.
Stop cheating. I'm gonna take my computer.
I'm actually not.
Why do you have that up there?
Story time.
No, that's showing the video of them reading it to you. I can't.
Oh no, I'm not.
That's exactly how you make this page. Go back to it.
Watch. They're way more farther than me.
I can't. No, it's not. It literally move. You think I'm stupid? It literally says chapter 3.
Yeah, I put them.
Chapter. You're cheating.
I'm lying.
Oh. supposed to read it.
Story time. Story time. I was reading. I didn't get it. Siri had to write so they could talk to me.
Why do you have video of that?
It's not showing me what page they on.
You're literally on chapter 3 on the
The
video.
thing's down.
Why is it up there? You're still not answering my question.
Story time.
What's it do with that?
They're listening to the story while I'm reading it to myself.
Why?
Story.
Why you gotta have them the same thing you read though? They ain't heard the first two
Chat.
chapters. How you gonna make them the first two chapters?
I don't know. I want to be on the same page. I was supposed to talk about it.
They gotta know what's going on first. It's gonna read faster than you, so you might as well let it play from one.
Oh. You could have said that. I'm a little stew. I'm a little stew. You could have said.
You could have
You heard this, bro?
you heard this, bro?
I'm a little stew. She should have said that. A little stew.
A lot.
Oh. Here comes stupid grandma. No, I'm talking.
You talking about I said a little.
You see her, bro? She
Chopped,
isn't she?
Top
Top cheese.
It's funny. You know, I ain't never seen y'all
I look better than you.
Oh my god, I love you, son. Oh, you're cute.
So mean.
Exactly.
way, but it was marred by a swollen eggplant-colored nose, which had dripped a gruesome mustache of blood down my upper lip. Even worse, my cheeks were covered with some sort of rash that looked suspiciously like...
At least I got a girl.
My heart climbed into my throat. Horrors!
You don't
I cried.
Single.
Is that acne? Immortal gods do not get acne.
God.
It's one of our inalienable rights.
You.
Yet I leaned closer to the glass and saw that my skin was indeed a scarred landscape of whiteheads and pustules.
Hey, mama, before you go.
I balled my fists and wailed to the cruel sky. Zeus! What have I done to deserve
this? Pour some milk.
Meg tugged at my sleeve.
I don't.
You're gonna get yourself arrested.
They run behind me.
What does it matter? I've been made a teenager, and not even one with perfect skin. I bet I don't even have... With a cold sense of dread, I lifted my shirt. My midriff was so covered with floral patterns of bruises from my fall into the dumpster and my subsequent kicking. But even worse, I had flab. Oh, no. I staggered around on the sidewalk, hoping the flab would not follow me.
Hey, chat. Get y'all snacks. Why y'all here? Call my quick. You on story time? Get y'all snacks. Be right back.
I don't even know what Bro wants. Yes, I was just scrolling through messages. Oh.
Don't make me crash out.
Mm.
You don't want me.
Mm. Anyways. Hmm.
It ain't your soda. Milk.
Mm.
I don't drink Pepsi like that anyway.
Hey, bro. I'm drinking it all the time when I'm on the phone. Yeah.
Be right back. Give me a minute.
Hmm.
Nah. I'm here to read. Like you said.
Hey, bro, leave me alone. Yo. Oh, leave me alone. Hey, bro.
Do with me. Don't
Hey,
fucking
bro.
question, grandma.
Stay
I don't
up.
got time to listen to you.
Stay up there. Oh, why you gonna lay her right here? What? She's too fat. If she's taking up the toilet, go.
Here's all the cups.
After Tuesday, stay up there. Hmm. Stop kicking my dog. Tell your dog to stop eating. He's probably fat. Stop biting. I'm finna be y'all loyal hater, nigga. What?
All right, chat. I'm back.
Oh my
Chat.
god. Finna be y'all
Oh
loyal
my
hater.
God, God. I'm back. God.
Mm.
Hey,
What
Amira.
happened?
Nothing.
Hi.
I just wanted you to join read time with me in chat.
Pizza.
Read.
Don't nobody want no pizza. Don't
I
say no
do.
pizza around me. We know you want pizza. You always want pizza. I don't want pizza again. I had pizza last night.
Mm, But yeah, Amira, I wanted you to join read time with us, bro. Me in
Stop.
chat.
Keep making my dog hit her head. Stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
How would you feel if I made you hit your head? I just banged your head against something. How would you
Amira,
feel?
you join read time too with me in chat. See, got the setup right here.
Ew, you got a big ass forehead.
Your head is bigger than mine.
Uh, Shut up.
All right, let's go back to our book chat. We can't let these girls distract us. Let's go.
Where are
Fuck
my
you.
8-pack abs?
I was joking.
I always have 8-pack abs.
Come
I
here.
never
I got
have
one.
love handles.
You want me to
Never in
make
4,000
pizza?
years.
Yeah.
Meg made another snorting laugh. Jesus, crybaby, you're fat. I'm fat. You're average. Average people don't have 8-pack abs. Come on. I wanted to protest that I was not average nor a person. But with growing despair, I realized the term now fit me perfectly. On the other side of the storefront window, a security guard's face loomed, scowling at me. I allowed Meg to pull me farther down the street. She skipped along, occasionally stopping to pick up a coin or swing herself around a street lamp. The child seemed unfazed by the cold weather, the dangerous journey ahead, and the fact that I was also suffering from acne. How are you so calm? I demanded. You're a demigod, walking with a god, on your way to a camp to meet others of your kind. Doesn't any of that surprise you? She folded one of my $20 bills into a paper airplane. I've seen a bunch of weird stuff. I was tempted to ask what could be weirder than the morning we just had. I decided I might not be able to stand the stress of knowing. Where are you from? I told you, the alley. No, but your parents, family, friends. A ripple of discomfort passed over her face. She returned her attention to her $20 airplane. Not important. My highly advanced people reading skills told me she was hiding something, but that was not unusual for demigods. For children blessed with an immortal parent, they were strangely sensitive about their backgrounds. And you've never heard of Camp Half-Blood? Or Camp Jupiter? Nuh-uh. She tested the airplane's point on her fingertip. How much farther to Perry's house? Percy's. And I'm not sure. A few more blocks, I think. That seemed to satisfy Meg. She hopscotched ahead, throwing the cash airplane and retrieving it. She cartwheeled through the intersection at East 72nd Street, her clothes a flurry of traffic light colors so bright I worried the drivers might get confused, and then run her down. Fortunately, New York drivers were used to swerving around obvious pedestrians. I decided Meg must be a feral demigod. They were rare, but not unheard of. Without any support network, or without being discovered by other demigods or taken in for proper training, she'd still managed to survive. But her luck wouldn't last. Monsters usually began hunting down and killing young heroes around the time they turned 13, when their true powers began to manifest. Meg did not have long. She needed to be brought to Camp Half-Blood as much as I did. She was fortunate to have met me. Well, I know that last statement seems obvious. Everyone who...
Huh? What happened? Amira, what happened?
Nothing. Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay. Don't yell at me.
means misfortune, but you take my meaning. Had I been my usual omniscient self, I could have gleaned Meg's destiny. I could have looked into her soul and seen all I needed to know about her godly parentage, her powers, her motives, and secrets. Now I was blind to such things. I could only be sure she was a demigod because she had successfully claimed my service. Zeus had affirmed her right with a clap of thunder. I felt the binding upon me like a shroud of tightly wrapped banana peels. Whoever Meg McCaffrey was, however she had happened to find me, our fates were now intertwined. It was almost as embarrassing as the acne. We turned east on 82nd Street. By the time we reached 2nd Avenue, the neighborhood started to look familiar. Rows of apartment buildings, hardware shops, convenience stores, and Indian restaurants. I knew that Percy Jackson lived around here somewhere, but my trips across the sky in the sun chariot had given me something of a Google Earth orientation. I wasn't used to traveling on the street level. Also, in this mortal form, my flawless memory had become flawed. Mortal fears and needs clouded my thoughts. I wanted to eat. I wanted to use the restroom. My body hurt. My clothes stank. I felt as if my brain had been stuffed with wet cotton. Honestly, how do you humans stand it? After a few more blocks, a mixture of sleet and rain began to fall. Meg tried to catch the precipitation on her tongue, which I thought a very ineffective way to get a drink, and of dirty water no less. I shivered and concentrated on happy thoughts. The Bahamas, the 9 muses in perfect harmony, the many horrible punishments I would visit on Kate and Mikey when I became a god again. I still wondered about their boss, and how he had known where I'd fall to earth. No mortal could have had that knowledge. In fact, the more I thought about it, I didn't see how even a god other than myself could have foreseen the future so accurately. After all, I had been the god of prophecy, master of the Oracle of Delphi, distributor of the highest quality sneak previews of destiny for millennia. Of course, I had no shortage of enemies. One of the natural consequences of being so awesome is that I attracted envy from all quarters. But I could only think of one adversary who might be able to tell the future. And if he came looking for me in my weakened state, I tamped down that thought. I had enough to worry about. No point scaring myself to death with what-ifs. We began searching side streets, checking names on apartment mailboxes and intercom panels. The Upper East Side had a surprising number of Jacksons. I found that annoying. After several failed attempts, we turned a corner and there, parked under a crepe myrtle, sat an older model blue Prius. Its hood bore the unmistakable dents of Pegasus hooves. How was I sure? I know my hoof marks. Also, normal horses do not gallop over Toyotas. Pegasi often do. Aha! I told Meg. We're getting close. Half a block down, I recognized the building. A 5-story brick row house with rusty air conditioner units sagging from the windows. Voila! I cried. At the front steps, Meg stopped as if she'd run into an invisible barrier. She stared back towards 2nd Avenue, her dark eyes turbulent. What's wrong? I asked. I thought I saw them again. Them? I followed her gaze but saw nothing unusual. The thugs from the alley? No, a couple of... She waggled her fingers. Shiny blobs. Saw them back on Park Avenue. My pulse increased from an andante tempo to a lively allegretto. Shiny blobs? Why didn't you say anything? She tapped the temples of her glasses. I've seen a lot of weird stuff, I told you that. Mostly things don't bother me, but... But if they're following us, I said. That would be bad. I scanned the street again. I saw nothing amiss, but I didn't doubt Meg had seen shiny blobs. Many spirits could appear that way. My own father Zeus once took the form of a shiny blob to woo a mortal woman. Why the mortal woman found that attractive, I have no idea. We should get inside, I said. Percy Jackson will help us. Still, Meg held back. She'd shown no fear while pelting muggers with garbage in a blind alley, but now she seemed to be having second thoughts about ringing a doorbell. It occurred to me she might have met demigods before. Perhaps those meetings had not gone well. Meg, I said, I realize some demigods are not good. I can tell you stories of all the ones I've had to kill or transform into herbs. Herbs? But Percy Jackson has always been reliable. You have nothing to fear. Besides, he likes me. I taught him everything he knows. She frowned. You did? I found her innocence somewhat charming. So many obvious things she didn't know. Of course. Now let's go up. I rang the buzzer. A few moments later, the garbled voice of a woman answered. Yes? Hello, I said. This is Apollo. Static. The god Apollo, I said, thinking perhaps I should be more specific. Is Percy home? More static, followed by 2 voices in muted conversation. The front door buzzed.
Thursday.
I pushed it open.
Thursday.
Just before I stepped inside, I caught a flash of movement in the corner of my eye. I peered down the sidewalk, but again saw nothing. Perhaps it had been a reflection, or a whirl of sleet. Or perhaps it had been a shiny blob. My scalp tingled with apprehension. What? Meg asked.
Yeah, I think I felt like that was about it.
I cheerful tone. I didn't want Meg bolting off when we were so close to reaching safety. We were bound together.
200.
I would have to follow her if she ordered me to.
Huh?
And I did not fancy living in the alley with her forever.
1,000 divided by 5.
We can't keep our host waiting. After all I had done for Percy Jackson, I expected delight upon my arrival. A tearful welcome, a few burnt offerings, and a small festival in my honor would not have been inappropriate.
In the middle of the
Instead, the young man swung open the apartment door and said, Why? As usual, I was struck by his resemblance to his father,
It's not
Poseidon.
good.
He had the same sea-green eyes, the same dark tousled hair, the same handsome features that could shift from humor to anger so easily.
But I
However,
swear to
Percy
God,
Jackson did not favor his father's chosen garb of beep shorts and Hawaiian shirts. He was dressed in ragged jeans and a
I'm not
blue
playing
with
these
the
games.
words
I'm not playing
AHS
these
Soon Team
games.
stitched across the front. Meg inched back into the hallway, hiding behind me. I tried for a smile. Percy Jackson! My blessings upon
What happened to you?
I am in need of assistance.
Oh no, my nose
Percy's eyes
popped up.
darted from me to Meg. Who's your friend?
This I'll pay
is
you
Meg
$1 to
McCaffrey,
go see.
I said. A demigod who must be taken to Camp Half-Blood. She rescued me from street thugs.
You need to stay away.
Rescued? Percy scanned my battered face.
Don't touch that pizza with your hand.
You mean the beat-up
So
teenager look isn't
disgusting.
just a disguise?
You know hands.
Dude, what
Get
happened
away.
to you?
I'm watching.
I may have mentioned the street thugs, but you're a god. How about that? I was a god. Percy blinked.
My
Was? Also, I said,
You know what I had to
I'm
go
fairly
to
certain
get
we'll be
Auntie
followed
pull
by
out her
malicious
hair
spirits.
with water?
If I didn't know how much Percy Jackson adored me, I would have sworn he was about to punch me in my already broken nose.
Whoa!
He
What up?
sighed. Maybe you two should come
When his
inside.
hair go, I'm gonna do it myself.
Chapter 4. Casa de Jackson. No gold-plated throne for guests. Seriously, dude? Another thing I have never understood. How can you mortals live in such tiny places?
Oh, my
Where's
knee
your pride?
hurts.
Your sense of style.
I want staring
The
at you,
Jackson apartment
fucking
had no grand throne
weirdo.
room, no colonnades, no terraces or banquet halls, or even a thermal bath. It had a tiny living room with an attached kitchen and a single hallway leading to what I assumed were the
Pause and
bedrooms.
shut up, because it's
The
actually.
place was on the 5th floor, and while I wasn't so picky as to expect an elevator, I did find it odd there was no landing deck.
First thing I ate when I got home was yogurt. That was
What
about
did
it.
you and
I
guests from the
still-
sky wanted to visit?
You already
Mama
know
here,
what I
Mama
ate.
here, Grandma.
Making the
Mama
speaker
here,
was a
Mama here.
strikingly attractive mortal woman of about
Yogurt.
40.
I don't know.
Her long
She
brown hair
outside?
flew gray streets, but her bright eyes, quick smile, and festive
I don't
tie-dyed
know.
sunglasses made her
I'm
look younger.
asking.
As we entered, she turned off the blender and stepped out from behind the counter. Sacred Sybil!
All right.
Madam, there is something wrong with your midsection. The woman stopped, mystified, and looked down at her huge, swollen belly.
Don't make the pizza.
Well,
Don't make the
I'm
pizza.
7 months pregnant.
I got you.
I wanted to cry for her. Carrying such a weight didn't seem natural. My sister Artemis had experience with midwifery, but I had always found it one area of the healing arts best left to others. How can you bear it? I asked. And my mother, Leto, suffered through a long pregnancy. Probably because Hera cursed her. Are you cursed? Percy stepped to my side. Apollo, she's not cursed. And can you not mention Hera? You poor woman. I shook my head. A goddess would never allow herself to be so encumbered. She would give birth as soon as she
Who
felt
the
like
fuck
it.
is a direct? Who is
It must be
that?
nice. The woman agreed.
Darnell?
Percy looked intrigued. So anyway, Mom, this is Apollo and his
Darnell?
friend Meg.
Yes,
Guys, this is my mom.
Darnell.
The mother of Jackson smiled and shook our hands.
Darnell.
Call me
What?
Sally.
Why are you so loud?
Her eyes narrowed as she studied my busted nose. Dear, that looks painful.
It's not like I really.
What happened?
I
I attempted to explain, but I choked on my words. I, the silver-tongued god of poetry, could not bring myself to describe my fall from grace to this kind woman. I understood why Poseidon had been so smitten with her. Sally Jackson possessed just the right combination of
big ass
compassion,
bison
strength,
noodles.
and beauty. She's one of those rare mortal women who can connect spiritually with the god as an equal. To be neither terrified of us nor greedy for what we can offer, but to provide us with true companionship. If I had still been an immortal, I might have flirted with her myself. But I was now a 16-year-old boy. My mortal form
Right
was
there.
working its way up my state of mind. I saw
Don't
Sally Jackson
stare
as a
right
mom,
there, Jay.
a fact that both consternated and embarrassed me. I thought about how long
I'm
it
not
was
reading.
since
I'm
I
not
called my
dealing with
mother.
this, bro.
I should probably take
I'm
her to
not
lunch
dealing.
when I
Not
got
dealing
off
with
the
this. I'm trying to read.
I'll tell you what.
Bye,
Sally patted
bye,
my shoulder.
bro.
Percy can help you get bandaged and cleaned up.
You gotta stay out
I
here.
can? Said Percy.
You gotta stay out here. You gotta
Sally
stay
gave
out
him the
here.
slightest motherly eyebrow raise.
Yeah, you gotta stay out
There's
here.
a first
for real.
aid kit in your bathroom, sweetheart. Apollo can take a shower, then wear your extra
Go
clothes.
back out there.
You two are about the same size.
Oh shit.
That, Percy said, is
I'm doing it,
truly
man. I'm doing it,
depressing.
man. Just reading this. Just reading this.
Sally kept her hand on
59,
her chin.
58,
Thankfully,
57,
Meg did not bite her.
56,
Sally's
55,
expression remained gentle
54.
and reassuring, but I could see the worry in her eyes. No doubt she was thinking, who dressed this poor
I
girl
don't
like a
care.
traffic light?
Hey, you gonna touch
I have some
it.
clothes that might fit you, too. Sally
Don't
said.
touch me.
Pre-pregnancy clothes, of course.
Oh,
Let's get you
really
cleaned up.
hating words.
Then we'll get you something to eat.
I got
I like
traumatized.
food.
You know worms
Meg agreed.
fell
Sally
on the
laughed.
floor.
Well, we have that in common.
How did they fall
Percy,
on
you
the
take
floor? Who
Apollo.
placed them?
We'll
She
meet you back here in
put
a
them in
while.
the refrigerator, and when I opened the
In short
refrigerator,
order, I was
they just
showered,
fell out.
bandaged, and
Nail
dressed in
polish.
Jackson-esque hand-me-downs. Percy left me alone in the bathroom to take care of all this myself,
What do you think?
for which I was grateful.
Rainbow. Are you
He
serious
offered me
right
some
now?
ambrosian nectar, food and drink of the gods to heal my wounds, but I was
That
not sure it would be
cheddar.
safe to consume in my
But
mortal
I
state.
ain't gonna say that.
I didn't want to self-combust, so I stuck with mortal first aid
Green
supplies.
don't look good on you.
When I was done, I stared at my battered face in the bathroom mirror. Perhaps teenage angst had permeated the clothes because I felt more like a sulky high schooler than ever. I thought how unfair it was that I was being punished.
Or are you just a weirdo and want to
Lame,
look
my
at
father
it? He
How no one
had
else in the
some
history of
white
time had
liquid
ever
going
experienced
down
problems
his
like
back
mine.
into his butt.
Of course, that was all empirically true.
So,
No
no,
exaggeration
he
was
said
required.
it was lotion.
At least my wounds seemed to be healing at a
Why
faster
you
rate
shook
than
your
normal
butt?
mortals.
No, I'm like,
The
why
swelling
did
in my
you
nose had
lotion in the
subsided.
shower in the
My
first
ribs still
place?
ached, but I no longer felt as if
He
someone
looked
were
at me and
knitting a
said,
sweater
wait,
inside
hold
my
on. I
chest
know
with
what
hot
it
needles.
seems like, but I know somebody who would have
Accelerating healing
lotion
was
in
the
the
least that
shower.
Zeus could do for me. I was a god of medicinal arts, after all.
Kalia.
Zeus probably just wanted me to get well quickly so I
Kalia.
could endure more pain. But I was grateful nonetheless. I wondered if I should start a small fire in Percy Jackson's sink. Perhaps burn some bandages and thanks, but I decided that might strain the Jackson's hospitality. I examined the black t-shirt Percy had given me. Emblazoned on the front was Led Zeppelin's logo for the record label. Winged Icarus falling from the sky.
Check that out.
I had no problem with Led Zeppelin.
Oh my
I had
god.
inspired all their best songs. But I had a sneaking suspicion that Percy had given me the shirt as a joke. The fall from the sky. Yes, haha. I didn't need to be a god of poetry to spot the metaphor.
Dude, that stink.
I decided not to comment on it. I wouldn't
Don't
claim
touch me.
satisfaction. I took a deep breath. Then I did my usual motivational speech in the mirror.
You gotta turn around.
You are gorgeous. People love you. I went up to face the world.
Oh.
Percy was sitting on his bed staring at the trail of blood droplets I'd made across his carpet. Sorry about that,
What the fuck?
I said. Percy spread his hands. Actually, I was thinking about the last time I had a
back up.
nosebleed.
Oh, I got a couple. I don't know what's that.
The memory came
open
back
that.
to me, though hazy and incomplete.
Finna,
Athens.
you be finna
The
crash
Acropolis.
out. No, that's not
We
it.
gods had battled
You
side
do
by side with
crash
Percy
out.
Jackson and his comrades. We defeated an army of giants,
But
but a drop of Percy's blood hit the earth and awakened the Earth Mother Gaia, who had not been in a very
50th
good
time.
mood.
That's when he lose the first
That's when
time.
Zeus turned on me.
Look.
He'd accused me of starting the whole thing just because Gaia had duped one of my progeny, a boy named Octavian,
Why you
into
gotta
plunging the
scream
Roman and
right
Greek
behind
demigod camps into a civil war that almost destroyed human civilization.
I'm finna smack you.
I ask you, how is that my
Mine's
fault?
joking.
Regardless,
Cheeto.
Zeus had held me responsible for Octavian's delusions of grandeur.
Hold up now.
Zeus seemed to consider egotism
No,
a trait
no,
the boy
hold
had
up
inherited
now.
from me.
Yeah.
I'm about to switch to the room.
Where the fuck are you now?
My living room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, why you gotta say it so dramatically?
Why don't ask?
What?
I said it so dramatically.
Because what you mean? I'm about to switch to the room now. Why you have
I was talking to my chat.
Here.
Which is
I didn't
ridiculous.
say I don't care.
I am
said
much too
care.
self-aware to be
That's
egotistical.
definitely what I said. Don't look at me.
What happened, you man? Percy's voice stirred me from my reverie. The war ended in
Who
August.
are you
It's
talking
January.
to like that? Ooh.
It is?
Snitch on you.
I suppose the wintry weather should have been a
I
clue.
know damn well
but I
you
hadn't
talking
given
to
it
me.
much
I know
thought.
that.
Last I saw you, Percy said, Zeus was chewing you out on the Acropolis. Then,
I think
bam, he
I know
vaporized you.
better.
Oh my god.
Nobody's seen or heard from you in 6 months.
King.
I try to recall, but my memories of godhood were getting fuzzier rather than clearer. What had happened in the last
That's
6
some
months?
good pizza.
Had I
I
been
ain't
in
got
some
no
kind of
pepperoni.
stasis?
Right?
Had Zeus taken that long to decide what to do with me? Perhaps there was a reason he waited until this moment to hurl me to earth. Father's voice
Always
still rang in my
look
ears.
goofy.
Your
Joking.
fault. Your punishment.
Joking.
My shame felt fresh
I'm
and raw,
so mad
as
for
if the
it.
conversation had just happened. But I couldn't be sure.
I
After being alive for so many millennia,
joking.
I had
How
trouble
you
keeping
gonna tell
track of
me
time
if
even
I'm
in the
not
best of
joking?
circumstances.
Bitch, I'm joking.
I would hear a
Shut
new
the
song
fuck
on
up.
Spotify and think, oh, that's new. Then I'd realize it was Mozart Piano Concerto No. 20 in D minor from
I'm
200
gonna
years
tell you
ago.
when the fuck I'm
Or I'd
joking
wonder
and when
why
I'm not.
Herodotus the
And I
historian
now I
wasn't in my
said I was
contact
joking,
list.
so I was joking.
Then I'd remember
fat ass
Herodotus
off
didn't have a
that
smartphone
counter.
because he'd been dead since the Iron Age. It's very irritating how quickly immortals die.
You're really fat.
I know.
I don't know where I've been, I admitted.
You fat
I have
too
some,
because you want to eat pizza 24/7.
Memory gaps.
I know.
Percy winced. I hate memory gaps.
Chat,
Last year I lost an entire semester thanks to Hera. Ah, yes. I couldn't quite remember what Percy Jackson was talking about.
Are you
During the war
talking
with
to
Gaia, I had
yourself?
been focused mostly on my own fabulous exploits. But But I suppose he and his friends had undergone a few minor hardships.
You call me a nigga.
Well,
I know I'm a nigga.
Never fear.
Then every
I
time
said.
I say I'm a nigga,
There are always new
you get
opportunities
mad,
to
and
win
I'm
fame.
not a nigga.
That's why I come to you for help.
You're not a nigga.
He gave me that confusing expression again.
So why you just
As
call
if he
me a
wanted
nigga?
to kick me.
You're a
When I was
nigga,
sure he
you're a
must be
nigga.
struggling to contain his
So
gratitude.
you know what?
Look,
I'm
man,
going.
would you please refrain from calling me man?
You said
I
you're
asked.
not a
Oh,
It's a painful reminder that I am a man.
I'm definitely a nigga.
Okay? Apollo,
I'm a
I'm
real
fine with
nigga.
driving you and Meg to camp if that's what you want. I never turn away a demigod who needs help. Wonderful! Do you have something besides the Prius? Maserati, perhaps? I'd settle for a Lamborghini. But, Percy continued, I can't get involved in another big prophecy or whatever. I've made promises. I stared at him, not quite comprehending. Promises? Percy laced his fingers. They were long and nimble. He would have made an excellent...
You'll finish the rest tomorrow. The rest we'll finish tomorrow. Hope y'all like this video. And this 31 minute stream that I had to do. I know. It was looking kind of boring.
Where's my other pizza? I'm most definitely eat that. Hell yeah.
Be sure to subscribe. Say
Huh?
bye to Amira.